You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hey, what's going on? This is episode 276 of the IT and the D show. We got an awesome guest lineup. We got Don here. He is the CIO of ITProTV. Flew all the way up.
Well, we have an awesome guest, and then we have a lineup.
And then the chair. Don flew all the way up to Florida to hang out with us. He makes IT training suck less by building binge-worthy videos to make you want to learn how to do IT stuff. And then Jeremiah's here from Daily Detroit. He hasn't been here in a while, talking about doing Christmas in the D and what other fun stuff's happening. So, Dave, you may fire when ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT and the D show.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Hi, this is Jeremy London from Mallrats, and I'm just wondering, how did I go from hot Floridian sex with Brandy spinning to the IT and D show?
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly.
Come on. Someone try. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to this show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT and the D show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the beak off.
Hi, this is David Kay, the voice of Professor Xavier from X-Men Evolution. Storm! Come here, Storm. Sit on my lap, Storm. You're listening to IT and the D.
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. You're listening to IT and the D. And if you want to get your money's worth, stay right here. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT and the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds. What is a nerd?
Hi, this is Ogre. You listen to a bunch of nerds on the IT and the D? Nerd.
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT and the D.
Hey, what up? This is Jay Muse, and you're listening to the IT and D show. Snooch to the nooch. Listen, Muse, Snoogans.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump. IT and the D show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D show. Tough guy. Ho!
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science.
So,
Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do?
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
What is up? Thank you for clicking play. It is December.
Wait, Bob.
Yeah.
I got my Buddha box on. You got to be quiet.
You always have your Buddha box on. they wrote that episode on you. It's you. It's like, oh my God, that's Dave. Like, if you ever watch South Park this season. Hey, this is episode 276 of the one and only IT and the D Show, broadcasting live here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Nuri the FNG is in the house, as is Randy. I do the Twitters. Find us online, itinthed.com. Do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere. Fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, so before we get rolling, finally, there's a cloud platform built for you and your business. DigitalOcean offers the simplest, most developer-friendly cloud hosting solution. It's optimized to meet your needs and make managing infrastructure easy. Plus, DigitalOcean makes it easy to deploy, manage, and scale applications with an intuitive control panel and an API designed for developers. So you can spend more time building great things and less time managing your infrastructure. No wonder DigitalOcean is the preferred cloud hosting platform of hundreds of thousands of innovative companies, including Docker, GitLab, and Slack. Join them along with 150,000 other businesses that are already creating amazing things on DigitalOcean to get the infrastructure services you need to grow, from predictable pricing through flexible configurations to industry-leading customer support. Get started with a free $100 credit towards your first project and experience everything the platform has to offer, like cloud firewalls, real-time monitoring and alerts, global data centers, object storage, and the best support anywhere. Here's all you have to do. Go to do.co. That's do.co/IT to claim your credit today. Join DigitalOcean and unlock the power of simplicity.
I still think Billy Ocean, we got to call him, tweet him.
Caribbean Queen.
Exactly. It's Billy Ocean for DigitalOcean.
He's got to be like on Fiverr or something somewhere.
I don't know. Rich has been trying to get Lou Bega to talk to him for like 8 years.
Okay, well, there might be a restraining order there. I'm just saying.
Or what if DigitalOcean had a dojo, and so it would be do.jo.do.co.
Ooh, the Dogo Dojo.
Oh, yes, please.
The boot camp for developers.
So this has been, usually we always talk about there's some weeks where there's amazing articles. There's some weeks where it's kind of blah, but we'll try to make the most of it.
There are so many stories.
This week
Folks,
has been...
This first segment's running along. Strap in.
A plethora.
Hang on, we're going in.
That's strap in, not
An
strap
absolute
on.
plethora.
But we'll talk about that.
And we're going to, speaking of strap-ons, we're going to start with a bang. And this is an article from England. And
I totally thought you were going to the butt plug story.
That's where I'm going.
Oh.
It's .co.uk. It's England. They wrote about it at least. But the headline are hackers can detect your butt plug from outside your house and turn it on. And
control, or just control it.
But I mean, we've been talking about this for years about these IoT.
Well, there was the data breach with the
marital aids.
God, I forget which one it was.
LoveSense.
Yes,
maybe?
there was a data
yeah.
breach with the ones that are app controlled, where basically all the data for all the people went out there, and they knew. Which, granted, I mean, at that point they know like what speed setting you prefer.
I was going to say, what kind of data does that kind of device have about you?
My only question is, who did the penetration testing on this one?
Oh no, okay. So so as the article goes, this chilling scenario came to a step as hackers at Pentest Partners, and of course the article says short for penetration test, giggity, showed how to take over Bluetooth butt plugs. Hackers could detect smart toys from out their house and make them go berserk. No, this is the best part.
I feel like that's the name of this episode, Bluetooth butt plugs.
No, the practice of taking over smart sex toys is now known as screwdriving.
I love it. Because you had war driving.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen, though? Like, all of a sudden your drawer is going to start doing some strange noise.
Well, or maybe, like, you're at the point where you want it on low and it gets jacked up to high, so to speak.
I was trying to find somewhere to go with that. But
Yeah, here's
I'm like, I can't go anywhere.
It said one could drive the motor to full speed, and as long as the attacker remains connected over Bluetooth and not the victim, there's no way they can stop it.
Bluetooth is what?
It has a pretty limited range.
Is it 100 feet?
No, it's like 40
No, that's
feet.
Newer versions are 100 feet.
So, like, it's got to be, like, they've got to be parked in your driveway.
Or they're like looking at you through the window or something creepy. Like, this is creeper level to the max.
Knocking on the window like, hey.
But if you look at this image, it's like
that's the 2018 version of Scream. It's not what are you watching?
Like scary movies.
I know what you're doing, Sydney. But like this map, it looks like an Uber map, but instead of cars, it's like big red butt plugs. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, again, who sits there at home going, you know what we need to do? We need to remotely turn on people's butt plug. Like, it sounds like a 4chan thing. Like, I just,
find devices near me. Learn a little more about your neighbors.
It should be like a service from like Grindr or something.
Honestly, it should be like when I find an open wireless printer on a network that's available to me. I have a standard document that I print to it.
Is it Red Rum? Because I would always send Red Rum.
Page one is Red Rum.
Okay, good.
Page 2 is. Here's what's happening. Please don't be stupid.
You're a brother printer?
You're a brother printer with Windows 95.
I did that my freshman year of university because everybody was on the same internal network in all like 300 rooms in the building.
Oh, jeez.
And the building director and the university police showed up at my door. I was like, it's a printer.
So the one that I heard this.
Well, what did you send to the printer, Randy?
I said, hey, your printer's unsecured. I'm in this room.
Randy.
Call me maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
The dangerous hacker known as 4chan.
Yeah.
I see you through the window. Do you live alone?
Controlling your butt.
The one that threw me a curveball was like, it's things that don't need to be said, but they're said anyway. And it's like, Starbucks came out and said they're going to start blocking pornography at its stores in 2019, not now.
Because apparently, not immediately, but next year, they're going to start blocking porn because apparently there's enough people surfing porn in it. Like,
I don't know if this is actually a problem. Like, so there's this internet safety advocacy group called Enough is Enough.
No. Because when this story, like, I was reading posts or reading comments on this post, we were like, oh my God, I'm a barista at such and such, There's this one old dude who's like always wearing sweatpants and sits at the back table.
So this is my roommate once.
And then he
actually.
like disappears to the bathroom for 5 minutes.
serious?
Oh yeah.
Dude, we're all at Starbucks at least 3 times a week. At least I am for sales calls or meetings or whatnot. Dude, like
not once.
No
not
one.
either.
Oh, I have. I've seen it.
No.
Hey,
what?
I ordered this macchiato with no cream.
Oh, Randy.
The show comes.
No, but like I've heard, like we've heard the stories about
Frappuccino, if you will.
Frappuccino. Boo. My favorite part of this story, my absolute favorite part of the story is YouPorn came out response and said, we're banning Starbucks from our offices. Like, I didn't even know YouPorn had an office.
They are an amazing tech company, actually. They're big data analytics. Apparently, they're a pretty good place to work, too. So
really?
Switch to, I don't know what they're switching to. It's really interesting.
I think anything at that matter. Like, I don't know that, like, yeah. How do you get away from Starbucks? That's the problem. It's on every street corner in every city in the entire planet.
Right.
But again, you know what I really need to do right now? Watch porn at 8 a.m, drinking my coffee. What?
It's one of those things where like it doesn't eat like that. Like that would never even register with me because like my first thought would be, okay, this is a network that somebody's monitoring. They have to. Of course. Surely they are.
It's like being on an airplane and watching porn.
Well,
just things you don't want to.
8 years ago, you're doing splash pages, signing T's and C's,
right?
And that shit was getting blocked. Like, why is it now it's a problem? Like that shit should, the first time you put Wi-Fi in it, they should have had freaking parental or like whatever blocks on all that shit.
Net nanny, whatever the heck is working
like,
these days.
What were you doing? Like it was always the problem was. They gave it to AT&T. Remember, they were charging for Wi-Fi in the early days, so they gave all their Wi-Fi to AT&T, and AT&T doesn't give a shit because they just want to push bandwidth. Right? Did I say that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, I'll stand by that statement too. I think that's the problem now. Is now that they bring it in house, and now they're like, oh shit, we got a problem.
So, and then from butt plugs to porn to McDonald's.
It's a pretty good segue.
It kind of is. So,
damn it, I wanted this one.
Run.
No, so everyone talks about okay, they're building kiosks and they're taking our gerbs.
Chicker
gerbs.
I remember the first time I saw one of those. I was in the Amsterdam airport. And upstairs, level 2, and I saw these and I'm like, holy shit, this is the coolest innovation. I don't have to talk to a human in a language that I don't speak to order my McDonald's.
No, the only thing
I can make sure the order is exactly what I want.
The only thing that those things are good for is making Frankenburgers.
Yeah.
Like making a McGangbang and having people not look at you like judging.
Yeah.
Like I want 72 pieces.
Well, what is a McGangbang?
Yes. It's a double cheeseburger.
Butt plugs to YouPorn to McDonald's.
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, he is going on this episode.
You buy a double cheeseburger and you buy a McChicken sandwich. You take the top one off the McChicken sandwich, you peel the the McDouble in half, and then you stick the chicken sandwich in between the double cheeseburger, and that's a McGangbang.
So this is basically
Right.
basically an orgy of meats.
Yeah.
Well, there was the surf and turf.
Right,
yeah.
double cheese and a fillet of fish, but you got to take off the top bun.
This is a thing.
Yeah,
the Mix 1035, where you can get sausage patty on your burger.
Yeah.
But only
Yeah.
at 1035.
Yeah.
Well, you can get it now anytime.
There's
because
college
the breakfast
campuses
all day.
where McGangbang is like just they know
The secret
and they
menu at
make
McDonald's.
it's like the ham sandwich at Burger King, like it's like this it's not on the menu but it's on the menu. So okay, long story short, like so now they got the kiosks at McDonald's, and someone decided to do a swipe test on the kiosks, and 100% of them found feces on every single one of them.
But not just feces, listeria and staph and Proteus, which causes septicemia.
Wasn't Listeria a Def Leppard song, by the way?
Probably.
Hysteria.
Oh, big difference. Sorry.
Close.
Listeria,
Sorry. Yeah.
when you're near.
Sorry.
These are the things that get you really freaking sick when you're in a hospital. These are the things that give you like things that they can't cure or make
Right.
you, I mean, it's just, I guess that makes sense though. And like, this is something we don't think about. There are touchscreens everywhere and we're interacting with touchscreens everywhere.
Well, they always tell you that your cell phone's the dirtiest thing, but I don't think it is.
But you go to the airport
So
to
basically,
check in.
just bring like a can of Lysol with you everywhere you go.
Disinfectant wipes. Yeah.
Why this is really bad too is like, think about the workflow in this. You walk into McDonald's, you order your Franken whatever.
You eat it.
You go right to the person handing you the food and you go right to your mouth.
You don't wash your
You
hands.
don't wash your hands in
No.
between. This is why this is such a dangerous vector for illness.
And then no one's.
Thank God this is only in England.
Bullshit. Like, you don't think the ones here aren't dirty? And I've ordered with them like twice.
Well,
Like-
there's the one in Warren.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Well,
that there's touchscreen there.
Panera has them too.
Panera's are really slick. I like their interface. It's good.
Just
Yeah.
order from your
Well,
phone.
the only
from now
time you
on.
go in there is when you got to take a McDump, so it's not like you go inside them ever.
Which is hence the fecal matter. on it.
Exactly.
And the key
Yeah.
to the pretty interface is the pretty interface makes you forget that there's poop all over the screen.
For crying out loud.
So can we talk, dude? Here's people. If you don't like children, don't have them.
I love this story.
This is the thing.
Favorite story of the week,
dude. Southwest Airlines, a shitstorm happened because, as anyone would, the gate agent for Southwest had a laugh or two at the child's name that their parent had given them, which is Absida.
No, it's like this. What's your name? A B B C C D D E E. Your name's A B C D E.
Yeah.
No, it's Absida.
No, isn't it
Absidy.
Absidy.
Which this is how
Bohemian Absidy.
Hold on, that's how you pronounce it now. But what's going to happen? This girl's going to grow up. She's going to hate her life. She's going to turn to food, and it will then be pronounced obesity.
You've been waiting all day for that, haven't you?
I've been waiting a freaking week for that one.
No, wouldn't it be just like Abby after a while? Like
Seriously,
Abby's good.
if you don't torture your child. Like, just don't. Like, you're setting that kid up to have situations like that happen for eternity. Why would you do that?
When I went to high school, like if you yelled Amy, Jennifer, or Lisa, like that was
Half
like
the crowd.
3/4
Yeah.
of my high school, or like Mike and Steve was the other half of the
And
guys.
Jessica for my age, like everybody
Right.
who's like between
Yeah,
30
yeah, yeah.
and 40s named Jessica.
But like, come on,
Like, unless you are Eddie Van Halen, you're not getting away with calling your kid Wolfgang.
I always heard the Hollywood
Or Wolfgang Gorlick. That guy totally gets away with it.
If I had a boy, it was probably going to be Wolfgang. Wolfgang von Waltenspiel. Come on, that's a great name. You know
That's
it.
a wrestler waiting to happen.
But I always heard like the Holly weird people name their kids that for like so they have
Apple.
unique. So they have unique SAG names. I guess that's a thing. That's why there's always 3 named people. So they have.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Like, you name your kid like, Lexus or something like you just predestining they're going to be a stripper.
Right.
You can't be John Smith 13 on IMDb. You have to be
Right, that's why they
whatever
give you unique
yeah.
names, so they have like their own Instagram name and their own, But yeah, Abkadi. I've never. Abkadi, come on.
I thought they just booked every seat on the plane, like
But here's the
entire
thing.
row. Like,
But here's the thing. Like when I'm at the airport, do not talk to me. As you're a gate agent. If I'm at the grocery store, don't ask me how that frozen dinner tastes. If I'm at the just
And don't even ask me how I'm doing because you don't care. I know
do
you don't
not
care. You know you don't care.
If you're a gate agent, just like, here's your boarding pass. Have a good day,
Move
sir.
on.
Thank you for your diamond status.
Right.
Right.
Like your daughter's name is like like how make fun of them when they're not looking. Like I'm all about that.
The other beautiful dumb people story was Payless.
This was my favorite of the week,
dude. They earn all the points.
There's nothing better than trolling self-righteous, self-important.
I keep going back to the Penn and Teller bullshit episode about water.
I thought the same thing.
Was one of the greatest things I have ever seen in my life, and this was that.
I'm an Instagram influencer.
It reminds me a lot about a lot of the stuff around wine, where if you just switch out, you give people the same wine, but you put different prices on it, they will think it tastes better, even though it's the same wine.
So did you ever see the Penn and Teller episode? Bullshit about bottled water. They created fancy restaurant. They created a fake water sommelier.
Oh God!
And they filled all these different bottles out of the hose behind the restaurant.
But different bottles.
Oh my gosh.
But with different bottles. They're like, oh yeah, this one's from the, Himalayan mountains and, and this one has like a decaying spider in it because.
And so here you have these clowns going, oh, they could taste the minerals in this one and the crispness of this one is unmistakably like, so they're trying to dissertate these waters like a wine. They're like, assholes, it's all out of the hose out back.
Oh yeah, and the best was when they showed them. That was
it was the same episode, like the half a banana. They cut a banana in half. Left side's organic and the right side's not. Which one tastes better? Like, oh, the organic one, the flavors are so much more intense and it's delicious.
It's the same banana.
So here's what Payless Shoe Source, and I almost want to shop there because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they deserve all the credit.
They opened up a fake store called spelled P-A-L-E-S-S-I, Palessi.
Yeah.
Paylessi. And they basically invited all of these, these are the worst people on earth right now, are the Instagram influencers. Like, I'm an Instagram star. I'm a social media influencer.
Yeah.
Like, people that just sit in their kitchen, like, consider that's their job. And basically had them come out and buy $600 pair of $20 shoes.
Yeah.
And then brag about them.
And they talked about how sophisticated they were.
Yeah.
And the high quality materials they were made with.
And then they were $20 from Payless, bitch. They're like,
wah, wah.
You can start your podcast at Podcast Detroit for only $500 per hour.
I like this.
It's artisanal microphones and
David Philippe.
Right.
Nothing organic I don't even know what I'm saying.
Artisanal podcasting.
The artisanal microphones.
They're handcrafted.
Homemade pickles with every podcast.
Locally sourced.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Can you talk about something that really made me angry this week?
What?
So, Starwood Hotels.
Oh, I thought you were going with Tumblr.
Is the latest company to suffer a data breach.
And this pretty much impacts everyone in this room.
Especially like road warriors and things like that. I think we've all traveled for IT.
It's more people than
been to PenguinCon.
Exactly.
This is more people that's in the U.S.
500 million.
So this is what's funny. Like, I'm, being in IT sales.
This is not funny, haha. This is, hey, the smoke smells funny.
No, everybody at work this morning is like, hey, who's got Marriott as an account? Haha. I go, I want to see that CIO's inbox this morning. We have a solution that could solve
right.
This latest breach. Like, every sales guy thinks they can save people from this. But apparently this crap, they've known about this, or they've known that this could be a problem for 3 years?
No. So
September.
They discovered this in September, but they also found that these hackers had been in their system for more than 4 years.
That's what I was talking about.
So that's before Marriott even bought Starwood.
Wait.
So they bought a breach.
So if you don't know Starwood is W Hotels, St. Regis, Sheraton, Westin, Element Aloft, Luxury Collection, Le Meridian. Like, there's a bunch of hotels. Like, I moved from Marriott to Starwood about 6 years ago and have been an SPG Platinum forever since.
Right.
I guarantee my data's in there, and it's not just my name and email address.
No, it's name, address, phone number, date of birth, gender, email, passport number, rewards info,
number,
arrival and departure info, reservation date, and communication
and
preference.
Possibly your credit card.
Yeah.
Because apparently they had them saved in the database and it was encrypted using AES 128, which is a good encryption. However, these people have been up in the system so long, it's most likely that they probably took the keys.
Luckily, Click on Detroit is reporting that it's only Book Cadillac Detroit and the Detroit Metropolitan Airport.
That article is bullshit because all of the Starwood hotels use the same reservation
system. It wasn't the hotel. It was the back-end reservation system. That's the issue.
Yeah, I got really mad when I saw that article. I'm like, no, they're a Starwood hotel. They use SPG.
Well, and guess what? I've stayed at the Book. I've stayed at the W.
We all have.
Yeah.
Whatever cheapest.
New Year's Eve.
Right, a bed in the toilet. Whatever cheapest.
Personally, a huge fan of the St. Regis, but we'll go on.
It's bad.
It is super bad.
You know what else is bad? And I know Randy's been crying in his coffee all morning about it and all day. That Google Hangouts is shutting down. Rest in peace, Google Hangouts.
You know, I still use it a lot. I have friend groups who
I like
use
it.
All day long. I sit in my Gmail and chat with people.
Why?
That's what that is.
Did they say why? Because here's the thing. I've used it a few times. It's not a regular thing with me, but I've never not liked it. It's always been. I like it better than.
Well, I
like it better than Zoom and WebEx. I'm going to say that out loud.
They're releasing something new, and it's the classic version that's going away.
Well, the story has been updated since we shared it initially. But what they're saying is that they're replacing it with Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet, which are G Suite enterprise level only products.
So if I just have a Gmail account, am I out of luck?
I don't know. Google says that they're eventually going to expand those to non-corporate customers.
Dave, we've been Gmail since day one. Have
Pretty
you
much,
used
literally.
Gmail Chat like in the last 3 years?
No.
I remember that used to be a common thing with probably like 8 of my friends.
Yeah.
What is Gmail Chat?
Opens up like AOL IM. It was IM for.
It was Google Talk integrated into Gmail, so it was a little sidebar, and then it switched from Talk to Hangouts.
Kind of
still
like
in the
when you open
sidebar.
like a Facebook message in the browser.
Yeah, I've got my little Hangouts conversations down on my Gmail right now.
Yep, that's it.
But it was just chat. It was chat only.
Before it was Hangouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Old man knows a cloud.
My AOL IM still works, by the way. I tried to log in.
Why?
I thought they sundowned that like last
Walton
December.
Beer. I don't know. I haven't done it this year yet.
Oh, okay.
Walton Beer 69.
That was it's just Walton Beer.
But
that was my
ASL.
Google has released Allo and since killed Allo, so I don't expect.
Is Allo gone?
I think it's gone. They still have Duo.
That sucked
for the video part, but
right.
Hangouts has video capability, so I don't know why they ever launched Duo.
Yeah, I don't know. I did a couple meetings on Hangouts. I liked it. I don't know.
So, and how many times have we all talked about all we want is go home car, I'm drunk?
All
Right.
the time.
Well,
it's Uber.
Well, it happened. Well, no, but your car.
2 Ubers, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently this happened. And the problem was actually I didn't realize that, cause the Tesla had done some of this stuff where the autopilot mode, is supposed to, chirp at you if you go more than 30 seconds without your hands on the wheel and eventually like just stop.
Completely disengage.
Yeah.
So this dude must have been poo-pooed.
So, well, or he still had his hand on the wheel.
At 10 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so the cops noticed this guy passed out in the front seat of his car, or sleeping, if you will. And they couldn't get him to stop, couldn't get him to pull over. So one of the cop cars gets in front of the Tesla and starts braking.
And made the auto sensor brake.
Exactly. It took 7 miles.
Holy shit.
To get the Tesla to stop.
I thought it also had attention detection where you had to like look at the road or something.
No, said it was wheels. It was a steering wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know. My car's got that front sensor thing, man. It's jacked on the brakes on me when I didn't need them jacked. And it's like, that scares the hell out of me. Oh,
Like,
my God.
Driving into the sunset or something, it'll sometimes do a false
Oh, I've
positive
never
and
got
slow you
that.
down. My car has done that a few times.
Oh.
Yeah. So moral of the story is, get a mannequin. And turn your car into a Johnny cab.
Right.
And put the mannequin in the front seat and you just pass out in the back seat.
What do we live in LA now? Like for the carpool lane?
But then, this is one of those questions that everybody's talked about because the guy has now been charged with driving under the influence. Even though he technically wasn't driving.
As he should, though.
There is no exemption for autopilot.
Yeah, no.
Well, but this dude, how many times have we had this conversation? Like, everybody's like, oh, autonomous vehicles are 2 years away. No, they're not, Jag. Because this is America. We sue people. We're a legislation happy society. And until all these questions get figured out, no, they're not going to be on the road. Because this guy's going to appeal and he's going to find some lawyer that's going to be all over this and go, technically he wasn't driving.
I was not driving.
I did not have driving relations with that vehicle.
Tesla really needs to change the name of autopilot. It's a terrible name.
Dude, I swear,
People
I remember
think it drives for you. And
my
it really-
grandfather,
Otto, OTTO.
No,
Yeah.
but he was when Chevy came out with cruise control. They were like the minivan had cruise control. They were the first car. There was a whole lawsuit that happened because a guy engaged cruise control and then went in the back to play with the kids. Because he thought cruise control meant autopilot.
Darwin Award winner.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
this is we live in a weird ages today, and I got 3 daughters, and I'm trying to train them for what shit's going to be like when they get a little bit older. Right. And good for this company. Apparently researchers built a smart dress to show how often women are groped at clubs.
Dude.
And I knew this was a thing once, like I DJ'd at the Post Bar for 11 years. Every once in a while, we would throw out a guy that would like goose asses, and I never really understood it. Like, what are you doing?
Again, where's that going to get you?
Right. And I would see him, and I would see it happen. I would tell Ray, I remember telling Ray, like, the guy needs to go, and we would ban a couple people. Well, apparently they built a touch-sensitive dress that tracked how often and to what degree and intensity. This was in Brazil, how women in Brazil were groped at an average night out. In just under this scares the living shit out of me. In just under 4 hours, the women were touched a combined 157 times in 4 hours in just a regular old nightclub.
40 times a minute. Or 40 times an hour.
There's 3 women, so 52 times an hour.
They said that was 3 women. Throughout the night, they said a heat map version to light up where the women are being grabbed. 13. It was lower back, butt, arms. And basically, and then basically they would brush them off and say, "Don't touch, get out." But like, that was always a thing in like Japanese trains. That was like women can't even go on them.
Yep.
Like what
in India they have train cars for women only. Actually.
Good God.
Yeah.
But like kudos to these people for building this dress. But like, is it going to make any changes? I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Everybody's like, you got 3,000 people grinding on a dance floor.
Hypercolor.
What is it, Cedar Point?
Bring back hypercolor.
Yeah.
So my other favorite story of the week, and it's just one of those situations where you're like, all the hype around something, and where does it actually materialize to?
Is this where you're talking about Tumblr?
No, this is not where I'm talking about Tumblr. This is a sticker on my laptop that is Samuel L. Jackson from the movie Pulp Fiction, where he's holding the gun out and says, what is it? Say what one more time. Yeah. But it says on my laptop, say blockchain one more time. So basically, we've heard in the news for years about how companies are revolutionizing shit using blockchain and ledger technologies. And so there was a U.S. international
machine learning, AI.
Buzzword, operationalize our efficiencies. So
change the paradigm.
Yes. The U.S. Agency for International Development basically went out and studied a bunch of companies, NGOs, contractors, and agencies.
And Nuri, we've done stories about how like penny stock companies just put blockchain in their name and they got like 5x valuation just because they got freaking stupid blockchain in their name.
Well, they basically went and looked as far as they could find. And they found press releases, white papers, persuasive articles. But you know what they found? Absolutely none of the companies actually had a product.
No, 0.0.
0% success rate for using blockchain technologies of the companies. And they would call the companies. They still got no answer. And there's even companies that'll, for $10,000, Fujitsu will give you fast track services for blockchain, but apparently no one's actually done it.
No. And they called the investment companies behind some of these companies. They're like,
Who knows what it is? We don't know what it is. We're in the industry.
It's the cloud.
No, it's not the cloud.
Is that why my blockchains or my Bitcoin is doing so badly?
We've had people and you're talking about it for an hour and I can't tell you what it is. I know what the cloud is. It's someone else's computer. What the hell is blockchain?
Someone else's money.
Someone else's.
And on that note,
that's the best. Speaking of someone else's money, we got Don in the house. He is the CIO from ITProTV talking about changing the way you train for IT. It should be a great conversation. Flew all the way up here from Gainesville, Florida, so should be fun. This is the IT in the D Show.
We're waiting for it.
This is the IT in the D Show.
And we'll be right back.
I know his arms aren't tired.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland. Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D Show.
ITinthed.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is episode 276 of the one and only IT in the D Show. We're broadcasting live here in Studio
Totally
1.
Forgot to mention that makes it Bob's Wrong plus 260.
Shut up, Dave. We're in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Michigan. Bob, the sales guy. Dave, the geek. Nuri, the FNG. Randy, I do the Twitters. Find us online, itandthed.com. Do us a favor. Mark your calendars. This Thursday, December the 6th, is our annual holiday party. We are collecting funds and donations for Hunger Free in the D. If you don't know what that is, it's the Solani Family Foundation. They're doubling our donations to Gleaners and to Capuchin Soup Kitchen, my two favorite charities in Detroit. Come on out to the Detroit Shipping Company, 5 to 8. Networking, hanging out, having some pad thai roll, and supporting the city.
That's so tasty.
It's one of the best meals in this town.
I daydream about that thing.
I'm always down for getting Thai.
Me too.
You can ask for it with the vegetables inside instead of just sprinkled on the plate. Yeah.
But that's like at $9. That's like the best value. If you don't know,
amazing.
It's a pad thai burrito cut sushi style. You'll never eat anything better in town.
Incidents happen, and they require complex coordination between operations and software development teams who are putting out fires every day. That's why getting alerts immediately is critical. Thankfully, there's OpsGenie by Atlassian. OpsGenie empowers dev and ops teams to plan for service disruptions and stay in control during incidents. It also gives teams the power to respond quickly and efficiently to unplanned issues, and helps to notify all the right people through a smart combination of scheduling and escalation paths that account for things like time zones and holidays. Better yet, OpsGenie allows for deep flexibility in how, when, and where alerts are deployed, with over 200 integrations like Jira, Amazon CloudWatch, Datadog, New Relic, and more. Plus, it tracks all activity and provides useful insights to improve future incident responses.
Well, and Nuri, I feel like we just had this conversation Saturday because you showed up for Noel night down at DSC,
and I was pretty frustrated.
And you were like, "Yep, this person was gone, that person was gone. I got hit on the food chain. I've been on a call since 4:00 in the morning."
Yeah, my phone rang, and I'm like, "Have you tried our on call?" And they're like, "Yes, Nuri, I tried your on call, but this person didn't answer."
Did you try the backup on call?
Also didn't answer. So there was me working from 4 to 11. I was terrible. Like, it is so important in a DevOps world to be able to have, think about platforms, right? As you make a platform and you have customers paying for this stuff, it's super important to be able to give them that kind of service level and visibility, right? So with OpsGenie, your next incident doesn't stand a chance. Visit OpsGenie.com to sign up for a free company account and add up to 5 team members. That's OpsGenie.com. Never miss a critical alert again with OpsGenie.
Awesome. So, hey, I got an email saying, hey, we had a sponsor of your show like way back when, and we got the CIO wants to come on your show and fly up and be on it. I'm like, yeah, please.
Good.
Right. That's what we always
tell them all to do that.
We always ask. But we are lucky enough to have Don in the house. He's the CIO from ITProTV. How you doing?
I am doing great. Excited to be back in Detroit. I have not been in Detroit for several years, but I used to live here a long time ago, so I was excited for the chance to come back up.
And have the culture shock of sitting through our show for a half an hour.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go with the culture shock of what's happened to Detroit in the past year since he's been back.
Oh, yeah, that too. That too. So I guess before we dive in, let's get into what ITPro.tv does, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
Sure. Yeah. So we create video-based learning stuff. You go to our website. We call ourselves like the Netflix of IT learning, that you come and subscribe, you get access to our whole library, and you learn all the great technologies that are constantly changing. It's hard to keep up. We keep our library full and you give people access to that.
So, I mean, is this like exam prep? Is this everything, intros? Is this, I guess, what do you get out of going through one of those tutorials?
So, we do a lot of different things. We do exam prep. We do a lot of tech skills. Basically, what happened is my business partner, Tim, and myself, we decided we wanted to create a learning product that was what we wish we had when we got started. A lot of people offer certification training where you go and you learn enough to get certified and pass an exam, right? But then you go and you get a real job and the world is different. And you don't really need the certification training once you're in a job. So we said, what about the hands-on skills, the other things that you need to do, the practical learning? And so we tried to create something that met both sets of needs.
And so there's a lot of video learning companies out there. Like my company has several that we kind of go through as our de facto. Everyone has their preference. What makes you different?
All right. So if you go and take training with just about anybody, what do you get? Either it's in class, right, which is not usually fun, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Boot camps, right? Basically.
Sure. Yeah. Or you go online and you have a disembodied voice over a PowerPoint, right? And it sucks. I've been through it. I've delivered it. I've been a trainer for over 20 years. It's something that I've done. we wanted to make it a little more enjoyable. Something people would want to watch, right? Like your show, people will listen to your show for an hour and a half, no problem. But you give somebody a 10-minute CBT and they don't want to watch that. They don't want to.
How fast can I click next?
We have competitions actually to go through our yearly trainings. Like.
That's exactly it. So we said, let's stick 2 people in a studio, 2 people, not one. So it's a conversation, right? Conversations are easier to listen to. And then you give one person who's the expert and one person who doesn't know. And so they're asking the questions that a normal student would. And you just get up there and you have a conversation. No PowerPoints, no transcripts, no
well, Don, I have these conversations all the time. Like I'll never forget. I've been through sales training now with like 3 of the biggest companies in the world, HP and Dell and Cisco. And the new class comes in and we kind of bump into each other on a Friday and they're like, what's going on? And I give them the pitch and I give them the elevator and I tell them, here's what's, and they're like, it's funny, 4 days worth of training and I got more out of this 10 minutes with you. And it becomes it's that conversation. It's taking all this digestible content into how real people speak and then kind of giving that back. Right. And at the end of the day, for me, it's the best way to learn.
That's exactly what we do. And also when we were delivering like classroom training, we were constrained by time. You had a certain amount of hours each day and people were away from work. With our stuff, we can kind of make it where it's at your own pace. And I tell the edutainers, we don't call our people teachers or edutainers, right?
I'm making up words. Don.
It's
I'm just being funny.
I'm going to work on some paradigm on this one. And,
Don't boil the ocean with your solutions.
Synergies coming up in 5.
Pivoted to it.
Curated experience.
So I tell the educators, hey, take as long as you want, or take as short as you want. A course doesn't have to be 80 hours long. Maybe it's 10 hours if that's all you need. And then also as things change, we can just go in and film more episodes. We do 30-minute episodes. So you watch it like a television show. And we found with cloud changes so fast that breaking up like that makes it easy for us to update and we can get in there and really crank it out.
With this, it just seems so obvious that you'd want to do it this way. I mean, think about this back in times before computers when people actually talked to each other without their phones or texting.
Overrated.
Before time.
Like if you sat around the campfire and did... Please click on the start button in order. That isn't how stories happen. That is how people learn how to catch buffalo. Like that.
Who caught buffalo?
I think I have a PowerPoint for that. So, we get a lot of SMEs, subject matter experts that come in. Like we have in-house staff. We have 12 people that are educators that film every single day, 5 studios. But we bring in experts also in a number of fields. And it's funny because a lot of them will come in and we don't get them to sign a no-compete. And they ask about that, like, do you want to sign a no-compete? And we say, no, feel free to go and film with somebody else after you're done here. With us, you're going to have fun. You're going to talk. We're all going to learn. When you go to a competition, you're gonna read a teleprompter over a PowerPoint. That's not a competition. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It's like, you can totally go to the place that lets you record stuff for free in a big giant room.
I'm also going to highlight that that's a great sign of trust on your part for creatives and people doing this kind of work because non-competes are just terrible. Unless you're doing a full-time job where you're getting benefits and your whole day is paid for. I do not agree with non-competes whatsoever and refuse to sign them.
But we've always called them the lobotomizers. Like your expectation is that I'm going to forget everything that I've done while I'm here. Nope.
Yeah,
that's not how this works.
I understand exclusivity if they're paying you for 40 hours square and benefits and you're able to make a good living off of it, but it's way too frequent and it needs to stop where companies go in like, oh, well, you're going to work 5 hours a week and you can't do any other work. How do you expect people to live? That's insane.
Yeah, welcome to being in sales, Jer. Yeah, seriously. Like, I will never.
No. You just only work 5 hours a week.
No, that's years ago. I haven't worked that much in years.
So, does ITProTV have any special things that you highlight on, or what are the courses like?
Sure.
What am I going to learn?
So we do the core certifications that anybody needs to get an IT career, right? Because we have a special place in our heart for career changers, right? We have several people on our staff that started as diesel mechanics, restaurant managers, and things like that moved into IT and created a great career. So we do things like CompTIA A+, Net Plus, Security Plus.
Very cool.
Those are foundational certs everybody needs, and we help them.
Yeah, we talked about that as our foundational path, through getting, help desk gig, which is, should be your first job in IT.
Step one.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And we even take the CompTIA IT fundamentals, and that's available for free. If you come to our website and sign up for a free account, you can do the entire IT fundamentals. You can get your first cert. All you have to do is go and pay for the exam, take it at a Pearson View Center, and you can get your first cert right there. But then we go beyond that, and I know I love our security library. We're always adding new security content. Even if you don't care about certifications, you need to be learning about IT security.
Well, that's the most difficult part. I don't mean to cut you, but like IT security, getting a certification, it's like, well, that stuff's already a year old. Like IT security, it's almost like a week to week, like that. To even have a I know it's certified ethical hacker. I get it.
Yeah.
But even to have a certification for security almost seems laughable.
It's more of a foundation fundamentals thing.
Right.
Than it is anything else. I mean, it's not, it's not the end, but it's okay. You got the basics of it. At some point, you'll be able to apply what you know.
Well, and it blows my mind on a daily basis, covering stories, covering companies that pay no mind to security whatsoever. So even if it's an outdated cert, at least it's in their mind. They've thought about security, because I can't tell you how many silly breaches seem to happen all of the time. And it's just because they left the doors to the store open, or it's social engineering. The number one way people get, hacked or
Jared, they don't care they don't care until they're in the paper. I mean,
I know. Oh, absolutely.
That's been going on for 20 years.
But to the point of training, though, it's not just the security analysts or the firewall guy. It's your developers. Like, security is not just something that is thought about from that very narrow vertical. As someone who's writing code, as an SDE,
you worry about it before it's deployed.
You have to write secure code. So it's not something that just weird people in a dark floor up on 8. No, this is like everybody has to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, I think that's the shift that's happening right now, is that security now is becoming like IT guys back in the 80s. Like, they were the wizards in the dark, smoke-filled room that, like, you didn't know what happened, you couldn't know what happened.
You shall not pass.
Totally.
Wizard.
Now, like, security was that way for the longest time, and now that's starting to get demystified because more and more people are understanding it and going through stuff like this.
Well, I'll tell you, DevOps is the bane of security, because most people are either a great developer or they're great at operations. There's very few people who are great at both. And so what you end up doing is neglecting the side you don't think about. Like, I might be a great developer and even know how to do secure coding practices, but if I deploy a Docker container and the image that I use is 6 months old, it's got vulnerabilities baked in.
Yep.
So that's the challenge people bump into. So they need an easy way to learn that stuff and not have to fly somewhere and be out of work a week, to be able to just fire it up on a Roku or an Apple TV and watch and learn while they're still doing their work. That's where we like to fit in.
So, I mean, you start with the CompTIA stack, getting your entry level. How far up do you go what's the most advanced? CISSP, obviously, CCIE. What else is, in terms of, far up the food chain?
All right. So we don't do CCIE. We do Cisco CCNA, CCNP.
Okay.
So we run that track. Very few companies need a CCIE at this point. If you're going to do that, I encourage you to just go to Cisco and do their training, because you're at that level. We do end user training like Microsoft Office and Adobe Creative Suite. On the professional side, we have a full ITIL suite all the way up to the master level. Our ITIL suite is completely it's complete and accredited. And there's not many. Actually, I don't think there are any other online providers that do that. We have Microsoft MCSE, the whole path for that.
Must call someone else.
Yeah.
It's Microsoft certified solitaire expert.
They're about to shuffle up those cert names again this year because, I don't know, they don't have a
we've mocked them for a decade.
2 decades.
Yep. So, a lot of those, we really do cover the gamut, but we also have a lot of just tech skills. Like, if you want to learn about Red Hat Linux, we have a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. We have a Red Hat series that's not certification based. Just get in there and learn Red Hat. We do the same thing with VMware and several of the other providers.
What about Amazon? That's seems to be on the hot list for everybody. Do you offer the, I guess there's an architect level, there's an associate level, there's a bunch of different AWS certifications.
Isn't there a dozen? There's either 12 or 16. I saw somebody that had the grid from a head that had got all of them.
They just rolled out a handful of specializations. Yeah. We have most of their track is already filmed. We're just finishing up our DevOps engineer training. That's what I was filming last week in the studio. So we have a lot of that. We haven't started our specializations yet, so that'll all be first quarter next year. But Amazon's a big deal. We have over 100 hours of Azure training because Microsoft Azure is just killing it out there. Linux training, things like LPI and CompTIA Linux Plus. That stuff, if you're not learning Linux right now, you really need to be. I don't care how much you love Windows and Mac OS. Like, Linux is the future in the server space. If you're going to do IT as a career, you need to be learning it.
So I guess where do we go find out more?
You can go to our website, ITPro.tv. Like I said, sign up for a free account. You get IT fundamentals, a handful of others like Microsoft MTA or Microsoft Technology Associate certifications, and you can watch our live channel. You can tune in live any day and see what's going on in our studios.
I mean, we know what it costs for a boot camp. I mean, what I'm going to drop a softball on you, but how affordable or how crazy is this to go through this?
Don't ask me to do sales.
Yeah, I'm a sales guy. Come on.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong on my pricing. Definitely check out the site, but $29.99 a month is what our video only subscription starts.
And that's all you can eat.
But it is all you can eat. You get almost the entire library. The enterprise space includes the ITIL training, so you got to go to a business.
And CompT is free.
But I will tell you, it is absolutely worth it to pay a little bit more and move up to one of our premium subscriptions because we do Transcender or Kaplan IT practice exams included with your subscription and virtual labs. So you want to learn Linux, but you don't want to install it? Fine. Fire up our labs. Get in there and learn it.
Considering boot camps are $15,000, you could do premium for a whole year for $1,000.
Oh, absolutely under that. Absolutely.
Yeah, $85 a month. It's almost like $1,000 even. That's with labs and tests.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me clarify that. Not test. The test
practice test. Oh, no, it says in practice test. Yeah.
Right. The real tests are administered by
Proctor,
you or whoever.
Yeah,
we can't get into that.
But still, I mean, if you look at, boot camps, I get it, but you're getting student loans again, right? We're trying to get people out of that shit.
Exactly.
And so, don't we have an IT in the D promo code?
I'm pretty sure you do.
Did it expire? It might have expired by now.
I'll have to check that out and make sure we reactivate it because that'll get you 30% off.
Okay, so you know what? Let's say by the time this show's released on Wednesday that promo code IT in the D, all one word.
Oh, I have no idea. You see, you asked me again. I'm the person in front of the camera.
You know what? If it doesn't work, then we're gonna give them your cell phone number. I'm just kidding. But yeah, IT in the D promo code 30% off. Don, you heard it here first.
And you can get my cell phone number from the Marriott breach this week.
Get the bell. Nice.
Actually, I can confirm that the IT in the D promo code does work now.
Wow.
Beautiful. So IT in the D. Definitely use that. Give these guys credit. 30% off.
Awesome. Don, we can't thank you enough for flying out here. You caught a Wings game. You enjoyed Detroit today and you're off to Chicago.
Absolutely.
It's 6 a.m. tomorrow. Like you're a road traveler.
I have my moments, and an open invite to anybody. If you're ever in the Gainesville area, please stop by our studio. We'd love to give you a tour. It's a lot of fun.
We are angry at you though. You didn't ask us where to go eat. You didn't eat Detroit good. Yeah, I know. You basically, yeah. That's all right though. Next time you come up, we'll definitely feed you proper. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back. Speaking of getting fed proper, Jeremiah's in the house from Daily Detroit. This is the IT in the D show,
and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D Show.
ITinthed.com.
Welcome back. Segment 3, episode 276. This is the one and only IT in the D Show, broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in Studio 1 in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG, Randy, I do the Twitters. Find us online, ITinthed.com. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Lenovo for Business. Like anyone in IT knows, your job isn't easy. From managing users and use cases to testing out new products, software, hardware, and more. There's no end to optimizing your office. Well, you didn't choose this field because it's easy. You chose IT because you make smart, smarter, fast, faster, and good great. Because you solve problems, you troubleshoot, and you never take no for an answer. You do what you do to make a difference. And while you're making a difference, Lenovo wants to help make a difference by providing innovative technology services and support solutions. Take Lenovo's new ThinkPad P1, the ultimate mobile workstation. Our services like Lenovo's data as a service, software as a service programs with flexible financial options, a suite of data center solutions, premier support, customized business shopping. There's no end to what you can accomplish. When it comes to IT, Lenovo is dedicated to offering solutions to make a difference for you and your company. To learn more about how Lenovo can make a difference for you, to visit www.lenovo.com/SMB. That's www.lenovo.com/SMB. Lenovo, making a difference for those making a difference for those making a difference. Awesome. I need a new touch panel or touch screen something
to get poop on
Chromebook.
it?
Huh?
To get poop on it?
No, it's going to be well, if it is, it's my poop. So it's fine. Hey, we haven't had you in when's the last time you've been in the studio, man?
Saturday.
On our show for the extravaganza at the Detroit Shipping Company.
Every day, Jeremiah's in our studio. But no, we got Jeremiah's in the house. If you know him from DailyDetroit.com, the Daily Detroit Daily Podcast, which I told you offline, but you do a phenomenal job. It cannot be easy doing a daily show. The Detroit Cast guys do it, and you do it. I don't know how you do, but you guys are masterful at it. And welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks. It's the holidays.
It is.
Which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah, because you stop worrying about calories and everything else.
Well, I was stopped worrying about calories a long time ago, but
is this the year that we open resolutions?
Yeah, for a month.
Buy a building downtown, and it's a gym from January 1st until January 31st, and then February 1st it becomes a bar.
Yeah, I don't want to move. I don't want to move all the weights on February 1st. That's a problem.
No, the great thing about it is knowing you, Bob, is that what we would do is, of course, just have someone move the weights for us to do this resolution.
Oh, right, here's movers. Yeah, we'll call Corrigan.
Or the people who attended the resolutions gym the most move the weights at the end.
Ah, there you go.
It's for your health to help us move the weights.
It's artisanal.
You have to sit on the stationary bike while you're drinking
and move the whiskey in. Yeah. Oh, that'd be good too. Make like the bikes. It's kind of like Gilligan's Island. The bikes run the electricity, so then it's artisanal bikes.
The bike runs the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. So, Jared, what's going on? Obviously we want to talk about Christmas in Detroit. But you went to the tree lighting. What's going on in Detroit these days? You did a top 10 tacos in Detroit.
That got a lot of people taco about it, if you will.
Yeah.
Dude, that article was so contentious. All the Facebook on it, like I started interacting with the Facebook messages earlier this week because people were like just amazing what people will talk about when it comes
Didn't
to
have hot taco.
Well, that was a big one, the no hot taco, which I just couldn't bring myself to put
They're
it on
not
there.
Good anymore.
I'm not a fan.
That is how I feel also about the other contentious thing that we did not include on there. We unanimously decided not to include Imperial this year.
Which is a pretty controversial thing. Like I used to live in Pleasant Ridge, so it was like a mile walk. It was my favorite first date place. I'd always make my dates eat the elotes.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's a postpark Ferndale. It's not a beautiful place. They did nothing to it except put a garage door in the front.
But then sometime about 2 years ago, I think they lost a manager because I met him at another bar he was now working at. The quality of the food went down. The portion size of the food went down. Like the service degraded. Like nothing was good anymore.
Here was the moment for me. The moment for me was in the span of 48 hours, I went to Taqueria El Rey and paid $5 for amazing goodness.
Taqueria El
and
Rey.
then went to Imperial, which I expected to be more expensive because it's, where it's at. But
did they have 2 turntables and a microphone?
No, they had.
Right.
Occasionally they do with DJs.
They do, you're right.
But the taco was just like greasy. There was just like a pool in there, and even the remade tacos weren't quite right. It just wasn't the thing. And then I was like, okay, well maybe this is a trend. And then I just watched it not be what it used to be. And not that it couldn't be recovered, but there's a lot of change actually happening, not just in the downtown Detroit restaurant scene, but in the Ferndale scene too. Cause you've got Dino's that's up for sale.
Really?
Yeah, they just announced that today. Dino's and Embrew, both of those are for sale.
Embrew we knew. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
and I knew what Embrew is. I know what they're asking, and yeah, good luck with that.
I wonder why they're selling. They're always jam-packed.
He wants to go up north. According to something I read, I think Oakland 115 reported that he wants to go up north.
Yeah, and what
buy the place behind his grandfather's or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be like 8,000 acres. What he's asking for Embrew.
He's buying the UP.
Right, pretty much.
But we made sure to include, back to the taco list, include places from around the region, not just in the city. Went down to Downriver, up in Pontiac, Carnival Market.
Which is my favorite place in that list. It's a tiny little market up in Pontiac. And it's a Hispanic grocery store, but one corner of it is a kitchen. And there are like 2-3 guys back there.
Is that right next to the Secretary of State in Pontiac, like the grand?
No,
no.
That's.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Trace,
Okay, there's one that's like the There's only like 3 Secretary of States are like 100% full service.
It's
like
on Walton, just west of Lapeer. So
got it.
Almost Auburn
Oh,
Hills.
okay. All right.
And it's fantastic.
Wow, that's like 5 minutes from my house.
Dude, no, and it's so cheap, and you buy the meat by the pound. So like, I want a pound of tinga de pollo. I want some barbacoa, and it's the best, freshest, most delicious.
Wow.
Their tortilla shells are fresh. Their salsas are fresh. Dude, it is the best value. Like, Jess and I pick it up all the damn time. It's just,
Well, and those places that have like the market going on with the tacos are amazing. There's the one tienda in Madison Heights that's really good.
Never
that
been there.
Madison Heights is starting to come up because they've got tienda there, and then Ema just opened over there, the noodle place.
dude, Ema's my favorite noodles in the town. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's
The fact that
something
that's in
happening
like Oakland Mall, like the plaza across the street, it's like cause I remember I texted to you guys like, oh my God, at Madison Heights, we should eat this before the show.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, it's at Oakland Mall. I'm like a bizarre.
Well, there's actually a large ethnic population that's happening in Sterling Heights and always been in Madison Heights. There's a strong, various groups in the Asian
Madison
community.
Heights has always been very, very Asian.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Sterling Heights is actually becoming more and more, having more of an Arab influence.
No, it always was.
Oh yeah.
It was always
but there
it was
used to be
Arabic and
jokes of,
Italian.
like of Sterling Whites back in the day, and that's just not the case.
Sterling High was like 50% Chaldean, like when I came up. Yeah.
Okay.
Always has been.
So it's always good to get people into a good taco fight, but I'm also glad to highlight authentic places that drive people in a little bit different direction than the number one selected places.
Let's, dude, the breakfast thing that I had when we went there.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
just, mother of God. Just the eggs and the chorizo and all day.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So that's, one of the things we've been going down. We're doing a lot of food coverage.
Are we do Bob's Tacos? No, we did
We did Bob's Burgers. We could do something. Bob's Burritos.
No, I'm not a burrito. Like
a Bob burrito.
A Bob burrito?
No, we need another Bob's Burgers. I just don't know where to go.
Well, we should decide this.
Vinny Barbarito.
Vinny Barbarito.
For burgers?
Yeah, for burgers. What
House
should we
of
try?
Shamrocks in Hazel Park.
Ooh, a Hazel Park choice.
I've never eaten there.
Try to get there before 7 p.m. Otherwise, it gets a little towny.
No, I've been there. Yeah, I've been there when it gets towny.
We've drank there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, the food is good.
I feel like this is going to have to be a pre-show thing for
You want
people
the
who don't know.
Shamrock burger or
No,
the
because I want a
burger?
place that like is off the radar. Because everybody knows all like Miller's and everybody knows all the places that
Yeah, and for people who don't know, we did a ridiculous but entertaining video.
Which just bubbled up not too long ago.
I love that video. I show it to like family when they come over. I'm like, we laugh. It's,
yeah, it was
I
a
think
lot of fun.
It was well done. We didn't even prep for it. Nothing.
It was video magic, but hitting the burger spots, and then there's so many great pizza spots around town. I know that you have a place out in Auburn Hills. You just
So the Larco family just opened up a pizzeria.
Okay.
So if you know Larco's in Troy, Lely's, which is the old Detroit, and then now in Auburn Hills. So this is their 4th generation, the grandson. He's probably 28, 30 years old. They bought him up. They wanted to franchise this called Larco's Brothers Pizzeria, and it's all the family recipes. So they make like a steak sandwich with the Detroit zip sauce. They have the spaghetti with the old Lely's meat sauce, the minestrone soup. We've eaten there twice a week since it's open, and it's amazing.
This took over Angelina's?
It took over Joangelo's.
Joanne's.
Yeah. The pizza is old school. Because I asked him, I go, you doing the whole like 1,000-degree, like minute and a half stone oven crap? He goes, nope. Old school New York style. It's like a 13-minute bake. And it's New York style pizza, like old school. It's proper. Everything in there is proper and legit.
I must admit, I like a good New York style pizza. That's not the pizza. I mean, I'm not a Chicago style pizza guy at all, because I feel like every time I need to strap on a snorkel before I just dive into it, because it's like all sauce and like a pool.
I'm in the Bermuda Triangle of pizza because I have 112, which learned how to make dough from Cepino's. So it's identical to Cepino's. This is out in Rochester Hills.
That's right next to Meyer, right?
Yep, in between the Meyer and the Walmart. He picked
I've
picked next to Panera Bread. He picked a crappy place, and he knows it.
But he does a pretty good job still.
Yeah, he owns the Detroit Sausage Company down in Eastern Market.
Oh, my God.
yeah,
He's the sausage guy.
He's
Yeah,
the
so
sausage guy.
he was friends with Cepino's, and Cepino's taught him how to make dough because he figures, hey, if you're going out to Rochester Hills, it's not it's not going to cut into my business. Legit, like the Bugsy Siegel pizza is probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had in the world.
That's
like
saying
legit.
something.
It's saying something. Then I got buddies over on Squirrel and Walton. So I mean, yeah, I'm in a pretty good little triangle there.
Well,
this is why I'm fat.
One of the episodes that did the best on the show was one where we actually tried the Little Caesars 5-meat pizza.
Oh God!
And that was
shudder thinking about that.
And it's always interesting to see where people's religion falls when it comes to pizza, because there is a pantheon of.
See, I'm angry at you guys for trashing on that.
Have
I'm
you
not gonna
had
lie.
it? Have you actually tried it?
Yeah.
And
I've
what
had
did you
the thin crust. Listen, at the end of the day, if the kids are hungry and they need food now, and I can drop $10 and feed the whole entire family, it's pretty damn exquisite. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not that bad. And there's a lot of people that
you walk into a dive bar expecting you're walking to Lello.
No, there's not a lot. There's a lot of people that don't have a lot of money, Nuri, that depend on that to feed their families.
Why do we have to make this about a money thing?
Because it is.
Call me out specifically.
No, because it is.
But Little Caesars,
well, you were Mr. Bigalora.
I am, but I also don't mind a regular Little Caesars pizza. Give me a Little Caesars cheese pizza. I ate that shit all the way.
Their
through.
$6 thin crust is the best product they've ever put out in the history of their company.
I like their baseball pizza. That one that they do at the Comerica Park. They also sell as like a square at the stores. It's a little bit more expensive.
See, I don't like their deep dish. I never did.
Okay.
I always tell my wife, just don't get the deep. Just get a regular round. You know. Again, though, like I know people that like their whole entire family get fed for $5. It's
Oh, totally. And on that episode, Sven was definitely the big defender of it. Of course, he's also the one of us who had the most children.
But honest to God, their thin crust is the best thing they've ever done in the history of that company.
Wait, hold on. You said the baseball pizza. Is that the one where the employee at the baseball park spits on your pizza buffet? Because I still don't know baseball pizzas, but whatever. It's cool.
But apparently, isn't Shields? Didn't I hear this? Shields is opening up a downtown location.
Shields is opening up in Midtown in the old Maccabees Traders building, right across from the DIA.
So, like, if you don't know the story, like there was Buddies, right?
Yep.
And there was Buddy and Louie, and then like Louie split off, and then like Shields split off, and then Cloverleaf spun off. That's how I understand it. I could be wrong.
I've heard multiple versions of the lore. That sounds about right, but I'm sure many people will have their own twist.
Right. I'm sure
My
they do.
uncle and cousin of this and that. That'd be a fascinating rabbit hole to go down sometime.
Jer. One night you took me out somewhere that was not Buddies, but you said it was just as good or better, and it was related.
Louis is better.
Louis is my jam.
Yeah.
Louis is better.
Yeah, I think Louis is better.
I still like Buddies better, but this is Detroit, right? We're very polarized on our pizza preferences.
Well, because it's such a big thing for us with that blue steel pan and that nice crust and everything.
Yeah, it's the best.
I mean, whatever variants you do, that crust and all that's
Buddies is
crucial.
got a crispier crust, but Louis, I mean, that thing's got a temperature, man. That thing breathes. I've never you hold that thing up and it's like thump thump thump, and you're like you feel bad taking a bite next. You're gonna I'm killing it.
See, I feel like Louis' reheat's better than Buddies because I feel like Buddies is a little bready for the reheat. That's just my opinion.
I need to try Louis. I used to live within a mile of there. I
never made it rather close.
I still live rather close, but I used to.
Their antipasta salads better. Like,
that's the bomb.
Yeah. That's the
better.
Answer.
That's the answer.
Didn't get. For some reason, we
did
not
wanted
get
to order it. They didn't put it in our order because it was a rush. It was a rush, and we didn't check our bag.
So we do Buddies about once a month. I'll buy the house, and we went into Louis. Yeah, their antipasta's way better, and that was apparently when they split they took that recipe. They were allowed to have it. And again, that's lore. You're like, who knows what's what? But I mean, you walk into that place at Louis, A, you don't even know it's a pizzeria. B, like that's time warp, man.
Think you're in The Godfather.
Oh yeah, that's some 19. You want to walk into like like the Bee Gees, man.
Chianti everywhere that everybody's written on. Oh god, yeah.
I mean, that place could be used for a movie set. For something.
Yeah. I'm stunned. Yeah, I'd be stunned if it hasn't.
I wonder if that's a good question. That's a really good question. So,
I mean, let's transition to Christmas, right? Is there any Christmas marts coming up? Because those are, I mean, for me, that's big in the German community. All of my clubs always have Christmas marts and.
Well, downtown Detroit has so much going on with shopping nowadays between what's happening with Cadillac Square, Capitol Park, 1001 Woodward, and the General Motors Rensen, because the GM Rensen's getting into the game because there is a strong it's a city within a city with all the employees. And then B, there are times you do not want to be outside in December shopping, but you still want to get something local and interesting.
All the patios are doing the igloos.
That is the thing now, right?
Yeah.
The igloos and the heaters out there and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, one of the spots, we're going to get into that when we get to the booth section. They're doing all of that stuff. But with the shopping, Cadillac Square has these really cool little huts that they've created that have all local vendors in them, and really, in fact, seen this group called Post. They're actually got a store that's on Kercheval on the east side by Grosse Pointe. And you know what I'm talking about over there.
Yeah.
You would think there was nothing around there. They've been able to succeed and make it as a frame shop and art shop there. And they've got a space down there with some really great goods. They've got of course, a booze tent down there. There's all kinds of vendors all through Cadillac Square. It's magical. It's great for your Instagram and all that stuff. That leads right through, Campus Martius Park, which of course has your ice skating. You should know about that by now. But here's the new wrinkle this year. There is a free roller rink.
Yeah, there's a pop-up roller rink. Yeah.
Which it looks trippy, but it also looks like a ton of fun. We actually were the first ones to break that because when we went on the tour with the Bedrock folks, I was like, the roller rink, we're writing about this right now. Like we literally in the middle of the tour, we're writing the post because we knew that the roller rink was the thing because they have these, and the art is curated by the Library Street Collective. And, it's just a great free experience. And the roller rink is an important thing to the community in Detroit. I mean, if you've been around Detroit for a while, the roller rink is where a lot of kids went. They're, kids in Detroit, a lot of times in the city anyway, they're not hockey players.
Yep.
We hit the roller rink is what we did when we grew up. So
nothing wrong with that.
No. And, so it's a really, it's pretty. It's in that 1001 space. So it's got some room to it. It's indoor in that very modern building there on the corner. And then once you go through there's shops all the way up Woodward. They've got pop-up shops happening. So, and it's well lit. It's all salted, taken care of. And then they've got bonfires and booze happening over at Capitol Park.
Well, they said, I heard it's free this year, like the whole,
Winterfest.
Yeah, Winterfest.
Yeah.
They charged before?
Yeah, so that's a separate event. Winter Blast. Yes,
Yeah,
they charged before. It was one weekend. Now they're doing it with 4 weekends with highlights in each of the individual weekends. And here's something I really
remember
like
they started during the Super Bowl, I thought, when the Super Bowl was here.
Yeah, right around the Super Bowl. It was like a continuation of that. And it was all fenced in and they had the little rides and whatever. Yep. But now, what happened was, as we, probably know, since this is IT in the D, Meridian, which hires a bunch of IT folks, they got bought. And so they're no longer the sponsor of the Winter Blast. So Quicken Loan stepped in and they took all the fencing down. And so now it just blends into the city, which is great. So you can just enjoy the attractions all of the 4 weekends instead of just one.
I heard the hot chocolate chugging contest is going to be a killer this year, by the way.
That's Kool-Aid, Bob.
Oh. Brown Kool-Aid, ew.
Well, poop screens.
Oh, come on, Jared.
So there's all that, as I mentioned, the GM Center, but I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the booze.
Duh.
The booze.
Because there's lots of boozy options this year. One of the things I want to make sure to remind folks of is the Skip. It's called the Miracle Bar, where they transform it. Now, the Skip, if you don't know, it's in the Belt Alleyway, right? Nestled within the Z Garage there, right in the heart of downtown.
Wait, I've been there 30 times. What's
So the Skip is the one with the drunk mouse on it. The drunk mouse sign, the black drunk mouse.
Is that the one where you can't, it's the secret place,
No.
Standby is the one at the very end. I think that's what you're talking about. But if you head down the alley from Standby and you're walking down the alley,
there's one in the middle.
on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
About 2/3 of the way down.
It's basically out the back door of the CBI office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've drank there before. They have the margaritas out of the tap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they actually have barriers, doors that come down to keep it more encased now for the all weather. And it is now the Miracle Bar. So all the cocktails are holiday themed. It is, designed to the nines with holiday everything. It's a great place to take a date. Definitely can't miss it. It's the kind of thing that's I wouldn't go 40 times in a year, but going once, it's that cool thing to go through. So, I gotta say that and then one of the Christmas bars I'm going to give a shout out to, and Bob, I know you're going to like this one. People might not talk about this one because there's no press releases, but for my money, decorations are the best for Christmas at Abix Bar down in Southwest Detroit.
Aha.
Abix, really?
Oh yeah, they go all out.
Now that is the place that has all the police, military memorabilia, and insignia,
Yep,
right?
And the dog.
Yeah,
the gigantic freaking dog.
Yep,
and that weird room in the back, we're what's going on?
the cigar smoking room. I love that place. That's got a good vibe to it.
It's a great place.
But they decorate it for Christmas?
Oh, it's top to bottom, little like town sets, the whole 9 yards. They put out stuffed toys, the whole
I went
9
there for a
yards.
Detroit bus company for the
me too, for the Drunks of Antiquity tour.
But I went for the paranormal tour on Devil's Night.
Nice.
And it was decorated to the nines for Halloween as well.
Well, with these Detroit bars have been around for a while. I'm all about those tours. I think they're a great way to introduce folks, but I encourage people to get a posse together and go on down, bring some friends, because these bars need your support. And it's so much fun. This is a little street corner bar that is something you might see in New Orleans or something like that. You don't see these kind of places anymore.
Between 2A and Abex, those are two of the coolest bars in this town.
Yep,
like
absolutely.
bar none,
Well,
hands
we talked
down.
when we went to Philly. That's all we talked about for months.
Those
after
bars,
we got back.
yeah.
Were
Dirty Frank's.
the little neighborhood dive bars.
Yep.
That's where you went, and that's where we had the best times.
Oh, absolutely. The people, everything. Yeah. No, but between 2A and Abex, I want to go back to 2A just so I can ring the damn bell.
You got to ring the damn bell.
Like if you don't know if you haven't been there, there's a bell in the middle of the bar, and if you ring it, you have to buy a shot for everyone in the bar. And the best part was when we went, there was 2 girls playing pool and then the bachelor party of 10 guys. So I was like, first thing, I'm ringing the bell because I knew I would only buy 12 shots. But then you get your name on the board. You get to put whatever you want.
Well, really the best are the birthday parties there at 2A because the bell.
Yeah.
And then they also, every once in a while, you got to look for their social media and their Facebook page, but they do like a brunch thing there and they'll do like chilies and all kinds of stuff. It is great. It is a sin that we have not been to that place being so close that we are.
Well, now that, is Tom's gone or did that come back?
Tom's is gone.
Because Tom's is gone, Steve's is gone.
Steve's is gone. It's now the elephant room, according to the signs I saw on the outside. It's been upscaled.
No more roaches on the bar?
And no more people living upstairs. And unfortunately,
Which I'm mad at him that he never told us that.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of secrets.
As many
Steve
times
took.
as we were there, and he never told us there were rooms to crash upstairs.
No,
we seen him come downstairs.
He did you a favor. He did you a favor.
We saw him come downstairs.
Yeah.
2 words: heroin mattress.
Yeah, whatever.
And I want to take a minute because people might not realize if they're more occasional to the Detroit scene to metaphorically pour one out for Tom's. That place is done. Ron
what the
left
hell?
this earth.
You didn't sell it to someone like?
There's no way he could sell because it's about to fall over.
Yeah, I know.
The only way that place stayed open, I don't know all the details, but it seems like the only way that
It's
place.
not the code. I know that.
It's because it was Tom's.
Grandfathered. Yeah.
This is the place where they had to cut the bar stools because the floor slanted so much.
You could put a golf ball in the bar and it would run down the bar. I mean, it wouldn't just roll, it would run down the bar.
Jesus.
I went there one last time near the end, and you could tell it was near the end because he hadn't had enough time to or energy to put into things. I don't know all the details about what happened, but so many people loved Ron. I know that it was beloved to generations of the community.
Yeah.
But I can't see it coming back because you need that place has to have a magical person. Now, if that person is found, that's one thing, but there'd have to be so many improvements made.
Yep.
Especially, that's one thing. There are ups and downs about Detroit changing. One of them, the ups is more places go legit. There's more
fire suppression systems put into places.
Right, exactly. On the other hand, with Tom's, you could have just pushed the wall down. You'd be fine. But that's one thing that I do lament is seeing those kind of things kind of go away.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think about the Detroit. I was chatting over at the Temple Bar with the folks over there.
I love those folks.
They're so good. What a great space. And the realization going around town, and one of the bartenders there, we're both been around town for years. Realization that we go places, we don't see anybody we recognize anymore. I'm just old enough to be in that spot where everybody is kind of new.
Yep.
And then a lot of the folks that are my age have gone on to families and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, things have, and I mean, you look at places, beautiful places, wonderful places like the Detroit Shipping Company that have opened up, Peterborough, all the things happening along Cass Avenue. It's great to see. I just wish and hope, and I'm glad the Temple Bar is still doing well. That we still have that
George's Arena. There's always people in there.
Well, but also George is a wily dude.
George is wily.
He's a wily dude who will make it work.
Detroit Shipping Company, and every time we sit in there, we're like, I don't know anyone. Like, you expect to see someone you know.
Right.
Like, I've gone to Mexico and I go, I know someone at this resort, and sure as shit, I see someone at the resort I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd think, there's no one I know. No one. But it's great. I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not complaining either, but it is definitely a shift. But it's growing, right? Detroit's turning into
Great.
the place that a lot
city.
of people thought. Yeah. And that's kind of what happens. I mean, when I've been to Chicago,
Cass Corner looks like downtown Rochester. Let's not kid ourselves.
I mean, it's crazy what parts of the Cass Corridor look like now. We still have that kind of dead zone because, it's all parking lots. But
oh my God, I was in the Peterborough for the first time a few weeks ago. And it was
Did you have the cheeseburger egg rolls?
I had the cheeseburger spring rolls.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of stuff, and it was delicious. The food was amazing, and the cocktails were phenomenal. They have like a legit full cocktail program.
Yeah. Chef Mark is amazing over there. The work that they do, that's part of that whole same group that owns the Sugar House, that does a bunch of that hospitality stuff.
Detroit Optimist Society.
Yeah, they do an excellent job with every property they roll out. One bar that's old school that would be amazing to see kind of up their game a little bit, Nick's Gaslight.
Yeah.
Think about the potential that place has.
True.
To really, because I want to love it.
It was him and his wife. It was Mr. Steve's.
Yeah.
It really was. My buddy worked at an architecture firm across the street. We used to go to Nick's Gaslight every other week for 5 years. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
98, 99, 2000, 2001. I'll never forget. I had nightmares for a month. I ordered the corned beef sandwich, and it was Oscar Mayer corned beef and American cheese.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shut the door. Go home.
Oh, I had nightmares.
Turn the
Like
lights
I took a bite and I go, oh my God. And I looked and I go, this is like, what? And it was just him and his wife working in this like disco. It looked like looked like Chaplin's like in the bowling alley.
Yep. I mean,
like
every
with
dinner I had
with
there,
the brass rails. And I mean, it looked like it was, but that building, he probably makes so much money in that parking lot. He doesn't need to do shit with the bar.
Probably right. The last dinner I had there, had the parsley flakes along the outside. You always know that nice 80s.
Right.
Like accoutrement.
It's too boring. Let's give it some parsley flakes.
Right. That'll spice it up.
Chopped kale.
We all have different tastes here. What do people think? The big news. There were two big mainstream bar news bits. Cheli's gone. Hard Rock gone.
I don't mind the Hard Rock going. Like, I think Hard Rock.
No one went.
Exactly. I think that used to be a thing. Like when you collect Hard Rock shirts from around the world,
or shot glasses.
No, if you went to Chicago or Cancun,
Vegas,
if you went to like Vegas, yeah.
I went to the one in Bangalore, and believe it or not, it's in this beautiful old building. It's an old library. It's been converted, and it's not just shitty American food. It's shitty American food with an Indian twist. So it's actually kind of interesting.
The Detroit one never endeared itself. When that thing opened, 15 years ago? No one.
03, I think.
No one gave a shit then. No one gives a shit 10 years ago.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit now.
the only time I went was a Yelp event, and it was free stuff and okay.
I think Manila was kind of cool too. There was one time I was there and I was craving chicken wings, and I'm like, where the F in Manila, Philippines do I get chicken wings? Turns out there was a Hard Rock across from my hotel, and I'm like, sweet, I get some chicken wings. And I had pretty mediocrely decent chicken wings.
It's the same reason why corporate road warriors love Starbucks is that they can do the corporate card with it, they can get their points, and they know it's going to be the same whatever city
and they can
they're
watch
in.
their porn. Oh wait,
Neri, I remember going to. I walked in just to see what it looked like. It was a downtown Innsbruck, Austria, Olympic Village. There was a Hooters in the restaurant district, and I go,
I can't even imagine.
I just want to stick my head in. Like, this seems ridiculous. And that was almost as ridiculous as the Hard Rock in Detroit. No offense.
Well, it was too small.
Well, in Cheli's, hasn't that clock's been ticking for a while? I mean, he's been back in Chicago for quite some time.
Well, and one could argue their program. I mean, the interesting thing about Chili's is that it was either people absolutely loved it and had all these like crazy memories, or they absolutely hated it.
People hated it because they charged $20 to get in that stupid fenced-in area on opening day. Like people hated them all year because of that. And I'm not going to lie, I did too.
Well, and they were only open on game days.
Right. I tried to go there multiple times because I do some work around the corner there. Be like, oh, well, let's try it, or let's do something that's not on a game day crush. Though the space was sold to the Illiches, and Hard Rock is saying they want to stay in the market. What if put the two together?
You sure it's not going to become another parking
if it was
lot?
sold to the Illiches, it'll be a parking lot.
Right. And the demo and the bulldozers coming.
And it's a parking
3,
lot,
2.
No, I mean, that building's gorgeous. I remember looking at it before it was Chelly's.
It's one of the few left over from the late 1800s, the 1880s. Some sites say that there was an upgrade in the 1920s. There may have been, but the root of the building in that kind of style, according to multiple sources I was able to find, it's one of the few left in Detroit from the 1880s that are still standing in good condition. You only got a few left. You got a few over on Beaubien Street and a few others.
I always wanted it to be a Hofbrauhaus because you got the
Oh, that would kill it. It looks right.
I know. It looks perfect.
Right. Yes.
But who am I going to pitch the Illiches? Jared, that's your homework project.
I think, you know what? We could start a media campaign for it. We could start a Facebook page. And
No, I want to make phone calls. I'm not going to do a media thing.
I mean, Chris listens.
Does he? Yeah. I don't know about that.
Hey, buddy.
So, I mean, we talked about, I guess let's jump from Christmas. Let's jump into New Year's. We're staying downtown. We're going to the casino. We're eating at Wolfgang Puck's. Just because that was the only open table that was available at the time I wanted. Did I say that out loud? But I mean, what's going on downtown? Like usually you hear about these crazy parties and like these bands. This year I didn't see much.
I haven't heard that much either, and I haven't gotten much in my press box around a lot of the stuff because usually by now we start to get the pitches. But of course, there is the everlasting D drop, or the drop.
What?
It's been called the D drop in the past.
Hold on. The D drop. Does it sound like this?
Peterborough's doing a New Year's Eve event.
Yeah, a lot of them are kind of smaller because it gets really, really, really cold.
Yeah.
Most years for New Year's.
I'll be in Bangkok, probably sweating.
It'll be one night in Bangkok?
No, a couple nights.
Jared, I'm not gonna lie. A few years ago, we went to the Motor City Casino, and I wore my Pabst jacket, and you would have thought I played for the Red Wings. I don't think I paid for half my drinks that night.
But that Pabst jacket it's like something out of Harry Potter, but for alcoholics. It's amazing.
I took a picture with 50 people. Like, let me take a picture of you, bro. Like, all right, cool. And I didn't pay for half my drinks that night.
I had no idea what's going on.
I didn't have any idea what was going on. Like, that was the time I realized, like, this jacket isn't just good. It's off the chains, like, phenomenal. I just thought it was funny, but I didn't realize it was to that degree. So, I mean, we're going to go to MGM this year. We were just there. Like, we saw Digital Underground there, 8 years ago or something?
You to go hang out in the swing suite?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's their Top Golf.
Yeah, the Top Golf swing suite.
It's called the swing suite.
Yeah, it was like when they said that press release, opening the swing suite, I'm like,
oh boy.
Hello.
Oh boy. Conversations, yeah.
I was like, this could be an interesting story, folks.
Is the Top Golf in Auburn Hills open yet? I think it's
it's just open
Friday.
Oh my God.
Friday morning, 9 a.m.
I've had a bunch of friends go there for pre-openings and previews.
God, I can't wait.
We were going to book it for a corporate, but I haven't got anybody to commit to it. It's not cheap. Oh my God, it's not cheap for a corporate event.
Oh no, we did a corporate event
not including booze. It was $100 a head for mozzarella sticks and chicken fingers.
Yeah.
So, quick rundown of the New Year's Eve things. Of course, the Fillmore with their fancy new F sign in the front of their facility.
Did they change the sign? Because I just went there for Echo.
They just changed it today or yesterday.
And it's amazing. You thought that sign was huge. When that thing was dismantled, it's nothing.
No, it's just. Yeah, it just looks.
It's amazing what a marquee sign will do to a neighborhood or to a district. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
This Marquise baby, are you down with it?
So they've got their resolution ball that they do. That's generally the younger crowd. There's the drop. There still hasn't been an announcement as to exactly where that'll be with everything. I know that
there were issues last year.
Right, there were issues last year. The market this year is in the space where it's been in the past. In Cadillac Square. So I'm sure they'll find some kind of way to shoehorn that. I mean, if the weather isn't terrible, there can be thousands of people down there for that. The Athenaeum always does their Motor City Gala year in, year out. The Masonic Temple is doing a thing this year that's kind of festive.
I have a few more I pulled up from tonight's episode of Nick Drinks too. The Sugar House is doing an event. The Oakland is doing an event, and then I mentioned the Peterborough's doing an event, and then you just said the gala.
Sugar House capacity is 80 people.
Yeah, you know what? I've been to the Sugar House for an event like that.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Curated.
Yeah, never.
But for my money, I'm all for people going out and doing things, but it's always best in my mind to spend New Year's Eve with friends. I've never been to a party and been excited about it. I've always kind of been oh, okay, this is it.
I think we're having one at the house. even in my absence, but it should be good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to Calvin's house.
Nice. Why would you ever do that?
Was he going to ask you leading questions the whole time?
I was there last year. He invited me back.
He needs diversity in his house.
Oh,
nice.
We love you, Calvin. Kind of.
Am I your token gay?
So, yeah.
Where do we find you, Jerry?
Well, all things Daily Detroit, dailydetroit.com. And if you want to subscribe to our podcast, dailydetroit.com/podcast.
It's ARE podcast, our podcast.
Our podcast.
Been on too many message forums. Jared, seriously, you keep up doing what you're doing. You guys are killing it. You guys are doing a good job. Seriously, mean it. Hey, we're going to wrap things up for this episode 276 of the IT and the D Show. I'd like to thank Don from ITProTV. I'd like to thank Jeremiah from DailyDetroit.com. Also like to thank DigitalOcean, OpsGenie, and Lenovo. Thank you for keeping the lights on. On behalf of Bob and Dave and Nuri and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the trees.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.